everybody, this is Algebra 2, Lesson 37, and this lesson is going to cover chemical compounds and parallelograms. Before we start on Lesson 37, I want to go over a problem that someone had asked about in class and that didn't have time to solve on the board. And it's confusing at first when you look at it, but it's actually really easy. So we've got this shape right here. It looks like a lean-to with a circle in it. And right here it says this is x plus 1. This piece right here is c. And then we've got x. And then we've got x plus 4. And we've got a. And we've got x over 2. P. And d. Okay. So we know that all the way around any figure, any parallelogram is going to be, or any kind of polygon is going to be 360, because if you turn each of these quarters, we're going to get 360 degrees. We know that. That's not going to help us though. Alright, so what we need to do is find the length. Oh, it tells us that the perimeter equals 31 inches. Okay, that is going to help us. Alright, so we know that all these added together equals 31 inches. We also know that this right here is going to be equal to that. So C is going to equal X, right? We know that A is going to be equal to X plus 4. And we know that P is equal to X over 2. And D is equal to X plus 1. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're just going to double each of these. So I have to add all these together, but instead of saying A plus X plus 4, I'm going to say 2 times X plus 4, because A is X plus 4, right? So we got 2 of the X plus 4s. Alright, I need more room than that though. I'm going to have to move this up so we can write down here. So we're going to say 2 times X plus 4 plus, come around this side, so we've got those, 2x plus 2 times x plus 1 plus 2 times x over p, so that'll be 2 x over 2 right there. Okay, and this one is pretty easy. We could say that's 2 over 1 right there. And all that's going to equal 31. Okay, so first we're going to do our distributive, which would be right there. Basically, this is a 2 times that, 2 over 1. Those are going to cancel. That's just going to be x. Because that means x divided by 2. 2 times x divided by 2 would just be x. Alright, so we'll start over here. We got 2x plus 2 times 4 is 8. And then another 2x. And then distribute right here. 2x plus 2, and then those canceled, and we just got another x. Okay, now we need to put our x's together. So I've got 2, 4, 6, 7 x's, and then we're going to put our constants together, 8, 9, 10, and then I'm going to subtract 10 from both sides, and I'll get 7x equals 21, and then just divide by 7, and I'll get x equals 3. So that's how you get that one. That one looks confusing at first because of all this A, B, C, D, P, and all that, but you just have to remember that this and this are equal, and then you can just double them up when you're adding it all up. Alright, and that was number 7 on lesson 36. Alright, so lesson 37, first we're going to talk about chemical compounds. So the first question says, the chemical formula for water is H2O. So I like to write that like this, H2O. Okay. If we have 3,600 grams of water, what is the weight of the oxygen? And then it tells us our O is 16 and our H weighs 1. Okay. So it tells us that at the end of the problem. So next to O, I'm going to write 16. And next to my H, I'm going to write 1. Okay, now I have to multiply these out. So this is telling me I have 2 hydrogen molecules that weigh 1 each for a total of 2. I have 1 oxygen molecule that weighs 16, so that's a total weight of 16. So when I add that together, the total weight of 1 water molecule is going to be 18. All right, this tells us I have 3,600 grams of water, and it wants to know the weight of the oxygen. So I'm going to go where my O is, and I'm going to put another O. This I don't need. Here is my equation. It's a ratio. So super easy. All I got to do is cross multiply. So 18O equals 3,600 times 16. I'm going to use my calculator for that. I get 57600. Then I just have to divide by 18. And my oxygen is going to equal 3,200. Okay, so that's the answer to that one. All right, let's try another one. This one is 37.2. And it says chemical formula for ammonia is NH3. So it looks like this, NH3, but I like to write it like this, up and down. All right, and then it tells us that our weight is H equals 1 and N is 14. Okay, so my H is going to be 1 and my N is going to be 14. And then I am going to multiply those out. So I have 1 nitrogen at 14. Then I have 3 hydrogens at 1. So 3 times 1 is 3. And then I'm going to add those together. And I'm going to get 17 as my total weight for each molecule. All right, so this tells us that each ammonium molecule contains 1 nitrogen atom and 3 hydrogen atoms. If we have 510 grams of ammonium, how much does the nitrogen weigh? We have 510, and we need to know what the nitrogen weighs. So we're going to cross out that one, and we're going to put our N here. So that is our ratio. So 14 over 17 equals N over 150. Okay, so now I can erase this and solve. Now I just have to cross multiply. So I can say 17N equals 14 times 150. I'm going to do that with my calculator. 2,100. Now divide by 17. Well, that's not right. Hang on. Oh, I divided by 14 instead of 17. Nope. Hang on. Alright, so I had N I had 14 over 17 equals, I am supposed to be finding the hydrogen. Oh, I'm supposed to be finding the nitrogen. That was the problem. So my 14 is my N. And then my total here is 510. So I just need to say 17 N equals 510 times 14, which is 7140. Then I divide by 17. And I get 420. Alright, there we go. Just make sure you're dividing properly. I think I swapped something there. Alright, it's mostly about setting the problem up properly. I'll do one more. Okay, this one says formula for ammonium chloride is NH4Cl. This means that we have one molecule of ammonium chloride. There is one atom of nitrogen, four atoms of hydrogen, and one atom of chlorine. How many grams of chlorine are there in, so we're trying to find the Cl, and then we have 1,060 grams of ammonium chloride. And this tells us N is 14, H is 1, and chlorine is 35. Okay, so I'm going to write my formula, NH4Cl, 4. And then I'm going to put my weights next to them here. So my N is 14, my H is 1, and my Cl is 35. Then I'm going to add them up. First I got to multiply. I have one N, so that's going to be 14. I have 4 H's, so that'll be 4. And I have 1 Cl, so that's 35. And then I add all these together. 53 is my total. Okay, and I'm looking for my Cl, so that's going to be this one. So I can cross those out. My Cl's right there. And I have, my total weight is 1060. And remember, this is your total down here at the bottom. And I'm looking for Cl. So here is my ratio right there. So I've got 35 over 53 equals Cl over 1060. Alright, and then I just have to cross multiply. So I get 53 Cl equals 3,700, whoopsie. And then I divide by 53. And my Cl equals 700. Alright, so pretty easy, just set your problem up properly. Alright, the next part is about parallelograms. So parallelogram, we're going to have two sets of parallel angles, like so. This angle, two sets of parallel sides. So we've got parallel lines running top and bottom and side to side. If we cut one in half, so there's a couple of things we know about that. The pairs of sides are parallel, have equal length, so this is going to be equal to this one, and this one's going to be equal to this one. Angles opposite each other have equal measures, so this angle is going to be equal to this angle, and that one is going to be equal to that one. The sum of any two adjacent angles is 180, so this angle and this angle will be 180, this one and this one will be at 180. So we only have two measurements. We have a measurement here and a measurement here. These are equal, those are equal. So if we add any two that are not equal, they're going to be 180. And the diagonals bisect each other. So if we had diagonal lines drawn through there, that means bisect each other means cut each other exactly in half. So this will be equal to this, and this one will be equal to that one. Okay? We can prove 1 and 2 by drawing the diagonal and noting that there are two triangles formed. So if we draw one of these, okay, and when we do that, we're going to have a triangle here and a triangle there. All of these angles are going to make 180. All these angles are going to make 180. That's 360. We also know that we've got A, B, and C. So that one, this one also would have A, B, and C. So that one's going to be equal to that one. And B plus B is going to be equal to A plus A. Alright. Okay, so let's see. Let's do 37.4. Alright, so we've got A, B, C, and D. And we've got these guys. And we got y plus 7 right here. And then that's 7. And this one down here is 4. And then we have x plus 2 right there. All right, and it tells us that angle BAD is 65. BAD, so that means this angle right here is 65 degrees. And it wants us to find ADC and DCB. All right, ADC is going to be boom, boom, boom there. So we know that adjacent angles equal 180. This angle is going to be equal to that angle, right? But A and D are going to equal 180. So if we have 180 minus 65, right? So this one plus this one has to equal 60. It has to equal 180. We'll just take 65 off of that, and we're going to get 115. So this one is ADC is 115. And then DCB, that's this one, has to be equal to this one, so it's 65. So that part was pretty easy. All right, now we have to find X and Y. Well, we know that this line has to be equal to that line, right? Because it's cut directly in half. So that means X plus 2 is equal to 7. So X plus 2 equals 7. If I do minus 2, I'm going to get X equals 5. Okay, and now our other side, we've got this one equal to that one. So that means Y plus 7 is equal to 4. Minus 7, Y equals negative 3. Okay, so those aren't very hard either. All right, one more example. Nope. Yes, there is one more example. Okay, and this one gives us A, B, C, and D, and it says this angle right here is 10x plus 50, and then this one down here is 5x plus 10, and this one over here is y plus 10. Okay, so we know that angles A and C are equal, and angles D and B are going to be equal. We also know that this one and this one have to add together to make 180. So we're going to use that to help us. All right, so I'm going to do the ones that both have x in them first. And I'm going to say this plus this equals 180. So 5x plus 10 plus 10x plus 50 equals 180. And then I got to put my x's together. So that'd be 15x. And then I'm going to add my like terms here, plus 60 equals 180, and then I'm going to do minus 60, and I'm going to get 15x equals 120, and then I'm going to divide by 15, and x equals 8. All right. So now I have to try to figure out my y. And that is going to be because, let's see, I could do this one equals that one, or I could do this one plus this one equals 180, either way. I could say 5 times x, which is 8. 8 times 5 is 40. Here, let me write that out. 5x plus 10. Well, if x is 8, and that's going to be plus y plus 10 equals 180. 8 times 5 is 40, plus 10, plus y, plus another 10 equals 180. So what I did, I said this one plus this one equals 180. All right, and then I got 40, 50, 60. Y plus 60 equals 180, and then I'm going to do minus 60, and I'm going to get y equals 120. Okay. Alright, so those aren't too hard. Alright, go ahead and do the practice problems. Pause the video and then come back and I'll work them for you. Okay, so these are the practice problems for lesson 37. I'm going to start with A. The chemical formula for Freon 12 is CCl2F2. And we have a total of 1,200 grams. How much does the carbon weigh? Carbon's what we're looking for. And then it tells us our carbon is 12, weighs 12. The Cl weighs 35. And the F weighs 19. Okay, now we're going to multiply these out. We have one carbon atom at 12. We have two of these Cl's at 35. That would be 70. And we have two of these at 19, which would be 38. We're going to add all that together. And we get 120. So the total weight of Freon 12 is 120. We have 1,200 grams. And we're looking for carbon, so we cross these out. So we're going to have 12 over 120 equals C over 1,200. Then all we have to do is cross multiply. Actually, you don't even have to do that. You could say 120 times 10 equals 1,200. So 12 times 10 would equal 120, but we'll cross multiply anyway just to do it the right way. So we have 120C equals 12 times 12 is 144. And then we divide by 120. And we can cross out those zeros, and then we could say 12 times 12 is 120. And we'd have C equals 120. Alright, so that's A. Alright, now we're going to do B. Haha, I went ahead and drew this. Okay, so on B we have to find B, C, D, DAB, X, and Y. Alright, so B, C, D, if A, B, C equals 125. A, B, C, where that's right here, is 125. So we know it's opposite, which is C, A, C, let's see, D, A, B, D, A, B would be that one. B, C, D would be that one. Okay, so we're looking for this guy and this guy. So if all we have to do is find one of them because they're going to be equal to each other. Alright, so if that's 125, the whole thing equals 180 here, and here is going to equal 180. So we're going to do 180 minus 125. And that's going to be 55. And that means the other one has to be 55 as well. So that was pretty easy. Those first two angles are 55 degrees. Now we got to find X and Y. So we've got this and this are equal, so we can say 2y minus 2y minus 4 equals 6. And we'll just do plus 4, and we get 2y equals, oh, not 6, whoopsie. Let's do x first. Alright, x plus 2 equals 6. There we go. Minus 2, x equals 4. Now we'll find y. So 2y minus 4 equals 8. So now we plus 4. And we'll divide by 2. And we get 6. So that's the answer to B. Okay, now we're going to do C. I thought C was a little bit more difficult than B was. Alright, this one we just have to find X and Y. Okay, so we know that this angle and this angle are equal, and these two add to 180. These two will add to 180. We have to do those first because those both have y. So we got 8y plus 20 plus 10y plus 70 equals 180. I'm going to put my y's together, and I'm going to have 18y plus, that's a 20. 20 and 70 would be 90 equals 180. And then we're going to say minus 90. We're going to have 118y equals 90. So now we need to divide by 18. So what is 90 divided by 18 equals 5. Okay, so we've got y equals 5. Now we have to find x. Alright, so to find x, we're going to either have to say this angle is equal to this one, or these two add to make 180. I'm just going to set these equal. So I'm going to say x plus 50 equals 10y plus 70. And I know my y is 5, so I'm going to replace that. So x plus 50 equals 10 times 5 plus 70. Okay, so I got x plus 50 equals 10 times 5 is 50 plus 70. Now, if I've got plus 50 and plus 50 on both sides, I can just do minus 50 on both sides and cancel those. And I got x equals 70. So my x is 70. That one. Okay, that was the last practice problem. This was the only lesson that we went over in class, and that's the only lesson we're going to do for this week because it was Thanksgiving break. Not really a break, but a lot of you were gone. So just do lesson 37 and bring to class on Wednesday. All right, thanks. Bye.